Very good afternoon to you. I'm Lisa Lloyd with the CBC News Break. An investigation has been launched after a police officer was discovered dead in his home with a gunshot wound last evening. He has been identified as Acting Station Sergeant Glenville Aline. 51-year-old Aline resided at Foul Bay in St. Philip. Police say his body was discovered at his home around 5:45 p.m. by a family member. The Royal Barbados Police Force has extended condolences to his family, friends, and work colleagues. The Jamaican man held at the Grantley Adams International Airport attempting to smuggle drugs into Barbados will have his day in court to face a number of drug charges. 32-year-old Kenneth Sean Myers arrived on the island by air Friday. Having cleared immigration, he was stopped and interviewed by the police. He was then referred to customs, where an examination was conducted of his suitcase, and 5 taped packages of cannabis weighing 3.4 kilograms were discovered in a false compartment. The drugs have an estimated street value of just over $27,000. Well, we have to warn you that the video in this upcoming story may be disturbing to some viewers. Police believe a video circulating of the brazen shooting of Ricardo Bryan in the Lucky Horseshoe restaurant car park could help them catch the gunmen. Footage of the killing, which occurred last Thursday night, was captured on a surveillance camera. Kent Jerson has the details.
The 32-second video shows the moment Ricardo Bryan was gunned down in the Lucky Horseshoe car park in Warren, St. Michael. In it, 4 gunmen rush towards the 46-year-old victim as he reaches the steps leading to the restaurant. The shooters open fire and he falls to the ground. Bryan tries to crawl away as the gunmen continue firing. He eventually lays motionless. The gunmen then flee the scene. Police Public Relations Officer Station Sergeant Roland Cobbler says investigators are aware of the video. He says police have often criticized the sharing of gruesome or sensitive video and pictures on social media, given the impact these could have on the victims' families. He adds, however, that there must be a balance between being sensitive to the victims' families and the benefits that could come from the public seeing the video in this case. In fact, he is appealing to anyone who has seen it and can identify any of the shooters to contact the police at the emergency telephone number 211, Crime Stoppers at 1-800-TIPS, that's 1-800-8477, or the nearest police station. Kent Jerson, CBC News.
It was deja vu for a Pori Springs St. Thomas family after portions of their home were damaged by a fallen tree for the second time in over 6 years. This time, a golden apple tree came crashing down in the early hours of the morning, waking the Skeet family from their sleep. Felicia Skeet says it was a lucky escape for her as a branch came through the roof, landing where she slept. The uninsured home was occupied by 3 adults and 4 children.
On the impact coming down, I jump out the bed. That's just where the tree line land right in my bed, one of the branches. And my little nephew, I had to pull him up the other bed, had to pull him from underneath the ceiling when it came down. So he just got a little lash and a little cut on his side, on his hand, his right hand.
So he's in good spirits?
Yeah, he's good. He good. Just a couple little lashes I get from the apples, but basically that's it.
Efforts were made to reach out to a number of agencies for assistance. Among those responding was the St. Thomas District Emergency Organization. Deputy Chair Rose Satur and the team were on the site after receiving the call about 6:45.
We call all our officers out. We have some here which is currently working, and more is on the way to come, and Mr. Augustine been clearing the tree that had fallen on top of the house. And if you look on the inside, you can see that a branch actually went into the house, and he's finished basically cutting the majority tree from on the house, and then we'll clear away where he brought his bobcat, and we normally use him as resources and his resources, and we're kind of we'll clear away.
The young man, who was burnt about 90% of his body after a power washer he was using late last month exploded, has died. 30-year-old Jamar Scott succumbed to his injuries at the Queen Elizabeth Hospital on Saturday. Scott was a maintenance worker. Young people are being told that despite their neighborhood, family life, or level of education, it's always possible to do something good with their lives. The power of choice was the theme of the service at the Mount Zion United Holy Church in Black Rock yesterday, and the message was directed at the youth. Several shootings and killings have been making headlines over the past few months, but Minister of Labor Dr. Esther Bayersuku, who attended that service, agrees that young people can decide to do better.
If they see that a lot of young people are doing X, they may want to do that. Mind you, I'm not saying that all our young people are like that. We know that the ones that we see most prominently in doing the negative things, they are thankfully still in the minority. But we don't want our children to believe that that is what has to happen to them because their parents don't have a job, because it's hard to make ends meet, because they can't afford the latest gadget, that kind of thing. Teach them other values.
Motivational speaker Errol Griffith, who is also managing director of the Power of Choice program, spoke at that special back-to-school service. The program has been spread across both primary and secondary schools, as well as business places and churches, helping people make responsible decisions. Mr. Griffith says the principles are extended to those who engage in criminal or deviant behavior, like those he counseled years ago at the then Glenderry prison.
It was amazing the way that those who were incarcerated, we work with mainly male, we do a lot we work with the females, how they responded to the principles. And it may sound simplistic, but the change can only come when people really and truly take total responsibility for themselves and their actions and not make excuses. And then if we can get them to have a relationship with God and want to obey God, that's even more powerful. But it must begin with taking personal responsibility. The change cannot come otherwise.
Stay with us. We'll have regional and international news right after the break.